There might come a time in your life where you realize you do not have all of the answers. And I have had to realize in my 30s, I often do not have all the answers or even the correct answer whatsoever. Lay, you can't be afraid of my tripod when I'm recording. Sorry, my dog is kind of like afraid of my tripod and he'll get used to it over time. But long time no see if you followed me for a while, and if not, nice to meet you. I haven't sat down to film a YouTube video in like 8 months at least, maybe more. And the last time I came back, I swore I was coming back like for good. And then it just didn't happen. And I've realized there's just some stuff that I need to get off my chest and to say. And some things that I've learned, and maybe then I will feel like it's a clean slate. And I think a big part of it is I built my content around being the girl who came from a really tough background, a really sad upbringing with a mom that was an addict who passed away, and clawing myself out from like the mental gutter of depression and just working really hard to create the life I have now, and then creating a life that was really awesome through posting on YouTube, and then getting married to my soulmate. And I shared all of the tips and tricks. I think a lot of people started to really value the information I would share and the tips I would share on how to get themselves out of these situations. And it's not that I'm not allowed to share those tips, it's that I found myself realizing maybe some of it is luck, you know, and I'm not saying like people can't get lucky, like I want people to get lucky, but like the more I would share about like manifestation and like self-help content and like all these tips, like getting up early and stuff, I realized like as I've gotten older that getting up at 5 a.m. is not why I got out of the place I was in. I don't know what I feel about manifestation anymore. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know. Like some days I'm like, yeah, I do believe in that. Like I do believe so much in like the energy we put out there and stuff. But we also live in a shitty timeline with fucking Donald Trump as our president. And like he's fucking, how? You know what I'm saying? Like, do we think he manifested his way to where he is? No, like things like that. I'm like, how can I say that stuff exists? And I would have people ask me like, oh, well, if you believe in manifestation, what about people who are starving in this country? What about, you know, Palestine? And I'm like, I don't have the answer. And those things riddled me with guilt, because some people post on the internet because they just want money, they want opportunities, they want success. There's nothing wrong with that. I started my channel when I was young and nobody was on, you know, posting on the internet as influencers. And I just wanted a community and a safe space to be myself. And I don't want to conform and pretend like I have the answers, because I think there's some sort of like when you're an influencer, people expect you to know the answer, and I don't. And that's what hit me, as I realized I don't know. I don't fucking know what I think about manifestation and all that stuff anymore, because why do we have such horrible things happen in our world and they can't manifest their ways out of it? And why was I in such a shitty situation and I won a free apartment? Like, how did that happen? But like, why can't I force someone else to recreate that same thing? It's like, is it a little bit of luck? You know, like, is it privilege? Those things are so real. And I think I was like naive when I was younger, was also a victim of a lot of sexual abuse growing up. That's not something I've really mentioned a lot here. I mentioned a lot about my mom's addiction and stuff, but the background I grew up in, I was left alone with a lot of men, or like my mom was passed out and stuff. And there's just a lot of things that have happened to me. And I think when I found like the spiritual community, it just gave me something to hold on to and like a reason why. And sometimes when you dislike yourself so much, because I did for a long time, because I wondered what did I do to cause so many men when I was growing up to hurt me, for my mom to tell me on a daily basis that she hated me and regretted me. Like, I think when you grow up like that, you're bound to dislike yourself in some extent. Sorry, Lay's playing with the toy if you can hear it. And so sometimes it's easier, instead of believing in yourself, it's easier to believe in an external source. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, because when the world we live in, sometimes you need an external source of motivation to keep you going. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm not. I'm just realizing I don't know how I got from such a low point in my life to here. Like, I think it's a combination of all of it. I got to a point where like I started to like resent my YouTube channel, because people would ask me like, how do I manifest out of, you know, a relationship where someone hurts me? And I'm like, I need you to call a professional. I need you to call the police. I need you to talk to like someone that can help you, a domestic abuse hotline. I should not be giving you that answer because I don't know. I don't know. And then, it became such a weight of me trying to, I think in my 20s, I didn't know how to just simply say like, oh, I don't know the answer. So I would just stop posting. Instead of now in my 30s, I realize, why is it that big of a deal to admit like, I don't know the answer to everything. I don't know the answer to most things. I don't know how I got here. Like I know some stuff. I know being on mental health medication and having a really good therapist helped, but I also know that when I was younger, I couldn't afford to go to a psychiatrist and get the right medication. I couldn't afford to go to a therapist. Like I'm trying to help my brother who's going through similar things work on like a medication journey, and I'm realizing, oh my gosh, this is really expensive. And I wasn't used to that because I have my husband's insurance. And I just burped, and I'm so sorry if that came up in the audio. I miss talking to you guys about real life and what it's like to heal and moving on and growing up now without my mom. There's so much I'm figuring out in the world and learning in my 30s. And even if I don't know how I got here, I am relearning so much, because when you miss out on a childhood, you like forever, you never get that back, because yes, I can have fun and play now, but once you're 18, you have responsibility. Like I never got to just the freedom of being a kid. And now in my 30s, I'm really trying to navigate so much without my mom, without a family. I literally don't have my mom or my dad. Like I'm like an adult orphan in a way. Like I have obviously my in-laws, and they're wonderful, but I am navigating a lot. And I know that some people are going through those things. And I am someone that is comfortable oversharing on the internet so we can be here as a community together, because this is real life that people go through. And so I just have to find a way to be honest, and like I want to share those things without people expecting me to know the solution, because I don't always. But I do want to talk about how I'm navigating whether or not I'm going to be a mom, as someone whose mom was quite abusive and had a lot of mental struggles, and now trying to figure out, will I be a good mom? Could I handle kids? Like those are conversations I want to navigate. I want to talk about like trying to reclaim my childhood in my 30s and getting out of that self-help propaganda that I used to spew so much here of 5 a.m.s and whatever. And then I went to a therapist and she was like, your cortisol is so high, you should be sleeping in. And learning to have fun and read for fun and just binge on the couch sometimes. Here is where I want to do it, because I love you guys, and I know it's not the place to do it on TikTok, and hopefully this is making some kind of sense. And if it's not, it's okay. Maybe I'm meant to just fucking blob for a minute and get it out of my space. Like I've recorded this like a few times in the past, and I just in the end just don't post it. And I just love you guys, and I want to create here, and I want to talk about healing and growing and trying to get out of a bad situation, because I know so many of you are where I used to be, and I want to help you, but I can't guarantee anything, and I don't have I don't know all of it, like I don't. Like sometimes I think back to my childhood, and sometimes I'm like, I think I was just so freaking desperate that I worked insanely hard, and I also got insanely lucky, and I have a lot of privilege, and there was a really good opportunity of winning a free apartment and like almost $100,000, and I put myself out there for that, but those don't come every day. But I also know that I do have good value to share as well. I'm just realizing I have to, like, it's okay, I guess, to admit that I'm going to be sharing from a place of severe honesty, instead of ghosting when I don't have the answer, because life is hard. And people still will be like, once you hit your 30s, like it all just comes together. Girl, when? I'm 32 and it has not all come together. Has it gotten better? Yeah, it has. I feel like the mindset of realizing I don't have to have it all figured out already, that is so freeing, and it's allowed me to come back. And there are so many lessons that I've learned that I do want to share, but I don't have it all figured out. I haven't drank a sip of my matcha. This was kind of a lot and all over the place, and this might not make any sense, and you might be like, what did I just watch? And if you don't know me, you might be like, she needs to go back to therapy. I'm good. I got my journal. I've been in therapy for a long time. Don't you worry. I had a thought earlier in this video and I didn't finish it. I got sidetracked, as I do. I take the responsibility of creating content very seriously. I just take the responsibility of it very heavily. Like I don't want to create something if by helping myself or something, I'm potentially harming someone else. I don't want to make someone else feel bad about themselves or convince someone that like the universe is gonna snap them out of something serious versus telling them like, you know, you got to get up and you have to fight for it. Someone once commented on one of my videos was like saying like, why do you say I love you? Like, you don't know these people. I'm like, no, because I do. Like, we have had so many deep conversations in my DMs and in the comments. Like, you've been here for so much for me, and I've leaned on you guys a lot. In a way, like, me sharing on the internet is like me leaning on a friend, because I don't have that. I haven't until I have my husband now, but like for a lot of my life, I didn't have that support system. I couldn't call my mom and tell her how I was feeling. And I didn't want to call a friend to be like, yeah, my mom, I can't call my mom. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. You know, like, I don't want to lean on people like that, but I love that here I can share and people can click on it. And if they don't want to see it, they can click out, you know, and you guys have been here for me through so much, and I want to be back. And I just have to be honest that I take this responsibility so heavily, and I'm figuring it out too. So who knows what I'm going to be sharing and how I'm going to be sharing it, but we're going to figure this life out together. We're going to try. We are so back. We are so back, I hope.